Hi, it's Brian. This is my presentation for the Abram essay. And for this essay, I went big picture and kind of talked about trends throughout the existence of humans in terms of oral and literate cultures, and said that as history goes on, you can see that oral culture is declining as literate culture becomes more and more prevalent, and also that today, or the current time period, the two are in balance, and eventually, far enough into the future, oral culture will be completely wiped out, and people will operate solely through literate means. I started off by summarizing Abram's work. That's pretty much basic, the same summary. I focused on the points in his essay where he is talking about the history of literate culture, because those are the points I could really use in my essay. And to support my claim, I basically went and did a walkthrough kind of human history and of oral and literate cultures throughout, starting with prehistoric times and the first humans on Earth, getting to Sumerians, Mesoamericans, and eventually getting to Greeks and Romans, where the first alphabet came into play, and then eventually getting to the 1900s and then present day. And throughout the explanation of these time periods, I explained it in a way that you can see literate culture and writing and eventually technology eventually have been advancing to the point where they have matched oral culture in terms of how much they're used, and that's the point we're at today. So the two are in balance today. And also throughout this history, you can see that oral culture, though it hasn't been passed by literacy, is becoming less and less prominent. And the key point to be made here is for the future, and this was part of my claim, that is that in the future, oral culture will eventually not cease to exist, and people are going to operate completely through technology and through literate means. My basis for saying this was pretty much that I use the example of cell phones, and as any kind of technology works this way, when a new cell phone is released, well, first of all, the cell phone goes through years and years, possibly, of research to develop and then eventually create, and then it's released to the public. Once it's released to the public, people begin using it until more and more people keep using it until everyone has this new cell phone, and it becomes kind of the benchmark for communication until no one's using the old cell phone, everyone's using the new one. And I kind of applied these oral and literate cultures in the same way and said use literate culture as the kind of new cell phone, and that eventually people are using it more and more to the point where it will completely replace oral culture. And that's pretty much it, I guess. Yeah, when it comes to organization, I pretty much went in chronological order. It kind of lended itself easily to that. So, starting with prehistoric times leading up to the present day. So, there you go.